You're watching the Small Business Showcase, brought to you by Sasfin and Suits and Sneakers. Hello ladies and gentlemen, Mark Sham here, back with another edition of the Small Business Showcase. So in today's episode, I'd like to introduce you to a company called Twiins Ferments. I am a massive fan of any company that tries to help other people become better versions of themselves. So with this in mind, enter Tanya and Michelle, literally two twins who decided to embark on creating a company that would produce things like kombucha, apple cider vinegar, and sauerkraut. But more importantly, these ladies are so hell-bent on helping people become healthier versions of themselves. And to boot, you will see that they are so quirky in their own right, always finishing each other's sentences. God bless Twiins Ferments. Ladies, I'm so glad you're here. And not only because I love the idea of showcasing small businesses, but because I'm actually a customer of yours.
Oh, excellent.
Right? And I've been using your products for quite some time. And I've really enjoyed what you have to do. So for the people who don't know, could you just introduce yourselves to me and to the audience, obviously? And could you also just tell us a little bit about Twiins Ferment?
Absolutely. Well, we specialize in making authentic handcrafted kombuchas, krauts, and kimchi. We use absolutely no artificial ingredients whatsoever, no shortcuts whatsoever in our products, and we use traditional fermentation techniques that we've developed over 7 years. So.
Wow.
Yeah.
How the hell is it going?
It is going well, especially considering what's going on in the world. So for products like ours that really aim to assist human beings do health and immune boosting and energy and just general self-care, you know, people are moving towards a healthier paradigm now out of sheer necessity.
Absolutely.
So for us in our industry, we are finding that there's more demand for products like ours.
Okay, so for the audience, who is Michelle and who is Tanya?
I'm Tanya.
I'm Michelle.
Okay. Mish, how long have you been going for?
We've been going for 7 years, and it's been a very long journey. You know, everyone, thinks that kombucha is just an overnight success. It's not. It's day in and day out hard work, and to produce consistency, especially where ferments is concerned, is hard to do. But we've done it. It's hard work. But we've enjoyed every single minute of it.
Yeah, we love what we do. We're fascinated with fermentation in general. So I had a normal job. And I had severe health issues, and Michelle was the one that actually found the first Scurby from someone in the dark on a farm in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah.
I was really sick, and Michelle was the first one to bring me a Scurby and start actually making me kombucha. I was actually bedridden for a year. And so Michelle started feeding me kombucha, and over about an 18-month period, I actually regained and recovered my health, so much so that I could get a job. And I started working in the job and bringing my kombucha and my kraut to work, and everyone in the office was like, what is that? And also they were amazed at my levels of energy. I had very long days. I was an executive assistant to a very high-powered individual. And my job took a lot out of me. I was managing Durban, Joburg, Cape Town, 13 different divisions, as well as my boss's private social life. And people were just amazed at the levels of energy and just my general good mood. And I didn't really ever stress. And the only thing I could attribute it to was my own experience with the product. So people in my office I just made it for them. I'd be up at 3 a.m., making sure that my colleagues had kombucha, kraut, and kimchi.
They're phoning me, Mickey, please.
And then it actually grew from there to the point where people were like, no, don't give it to me for free. I'd be giving Scurbies for free, kraut, everything.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh no, I killed it. And so they started buying from me. And then we had the great fortune of someone actually knowing Gary Jackson's.
Yeah.
Before he started, and she was like, I went to a braai, and there's this guy, Gary Jackson. And we were like, and she's going, I told you about it. I told him about you. Please phone him. So we phoned him, and we, in the middle of our lunch break,
we went to go see Gary Jackson.
And we handed him in his small little shop, his first store, and handed in the products, and he was, I'll try this out on the family, and he did, and they started ordering, and the rest is history. And we've been very fortunate to have Gary Jackson's be our first client.
He's also been consistent. He's supported us all the way, and we're so grateful.
And he's actually, he's a wonderful human. And
I have quite a bit of history with Gary. He's actually been on, not the Small Business Showcase, but I've had him here in studio, etc. For the people who don't know what is a Scurby, I know, but just maybe helping them out.
Scurby is an acronym for Symbiotic Culture of Bacteria and Yeast. So it's a mycelial mat where bacteria and yeast work in symbiotic relationships.
Okay.
It's a naturally occurring symbiosis of yeast and bacteria because yeast and bacteria are different species, so they don't actually coexist. But what we found is that this is a mutualistic and synergistic relationship between naturally occurring yeast and bacteria.
And it produces the most amazing kombucha.
Yeah.
So let's actually go back a step, right? I mean, I think it's great. I obviously have a good understanding of your business because I'm a customer of yours.
Thank you.
What typically happens is I go to Jackson's because they're like 300 meters from my house and I get the kombucha on times, but the main thing that I've been having from you is the apple cider vinegar and I get the krauts on occasion. So, and then your business model is that you're not selling direct to the public. You sell through through retailers, etc. Great, so people know that part about you. But maybe if you can just share a little bit of the thinking around what the process of fermentation does for your health.
Absolutely. All right, so with kombucha making, it's just simply the alchemy of fermentation with tea. So we use a very custom blend of loose leaf, green and black teas. We use a specific type of sugar that you can't buy on the shelf. We deal with a sugar merchant and tea merchant. We were very, very careful with the sourcing of the types of green tea and the types of black tea and the type of sugar because, kombucha is kombucha. You can take tea and sugar and add the Scurby and then result in kombucha, but we were really interested in having the properties of the tea and the sugar and the alchemy make it as bioactive and bioavailable as possible.
And what fermentation really does, Mark, in a nutshell, is it outsources your nutrition. So basically all the happy, life-giving bacteria and microorganisms pre-digest your tea and your sugar, so it's assimilated more easily into your system and helps with digestion and nutrient absorption. Very important.
Yeah, and also what that alchemy does with the fermentation is that it literally creates vitamin C, which we all know is excellent for suppressing cortisol, helping you manage stress. And then it has a beautiful, almost perfect profile, just naturally occurring because of the fermentation of vitamin B, specifically B1, B6, and B12.
I love how you two do this in unison. I'm sure you get this all the time, but you really do have the unison thing going on. Okay, so this is epic, right? And it's kind of how I got onto you guys. I went to Jackson's a bunch of times and I was starting to use the apple cider vinegar. I mean, it's been quite interesting, just the impact that this has had on me. About 3 years ago, I got quite sick, just flu sick, but I was traveling a lot. And I just kept getting caught. And I'm an undercover fat kid. I was really overweight as a kid. So I've had this battle with, gaining and losing weight. And then in the last 3 years, I really finally got training down. But you realize that you can train till you're blue in the face. You can't out-train a bad diet. And so this led me to deciding, actually, I was really doing well in 2018, 2019. 2020, I thought I was going to knock the lights out of it. And then COVID hit and I found myself at the bottom of a wine bottle too often. But 2021 came around and I was like, you know what? This is the year of health optimization. So this is how your products land up in my kitchen, so to speak. And I think it's fascinating because you guys are in a business where you are taking on, you both have to sell what you do, but you also have to sell the benefit to people. Because we seem to be in this thing where we can spend 1,000 Rand at a jaw without blinking, but it's like, kombucha is quite expensive, or apples. Like we look at these things and it's a miss. So I would assume, and please correct me if I'm wrong, that you guys are equally in the game of education and not just sales. Do you want to just share a little bit about some of the ups and downs of this journey that you're on?
It's exactly what you said, Mark, and it's not just educate one time. It's an ongoing process for Tanya and I. Daily.
Weekly.
We're learning all the time about what we do, our kombuchas and ferments. But
We never stop studying.
We never stop studying.
And you shouldn't, as we know.
We just never stop studying.
So, what we find is that you can't just educate once. It has to be a consistent thing. And Tanya and I are really working hard at the moment to put it into concise, bite-sized bits of information, because people don't want to read an essay. They don't also want to be bombarded with all this medical jargon. They just want things that they can quickly just look at, understand, and then make their decision
and assimilate into their lives as quickly as possible, because I think people, especially considering the global impact of what is actually happening, people are wanting to take charge of their health. I think this has brought a greater awareness and focus, I know for me and my family, on how do we best manage our health in terms of the choices we make, what goes into our mouth, what goes into our brain, our ears, our eyes. It's been a whole exercise, a complete renovation actually, because you want to be fit, you want to be strong, and you want to be healthy, and you want to protect your family.
Yeah, I mean, you're preaching to the choir, and it's why I thought immediately, besides the fact that I enjoy your products, I thought I really wanted to get you guys on here because you are a genuine small business. You were telling me off air, 3 of you in total.
Yes, 3 of us.
So right now, because you're here, someone is working on...
She's taking the brunt.
She's taking the brunt. So it's us. We make everything by hand. We craft all the flavors by hand. Every single stage is us measuring pH, measuring sugar, making sure.
Putting the caps onto the bottles, putting the labels
onto the bottles, hauling the crates.
To Scurby tank, to
check that the Scurby's fine, the temperatures are fine, that we are in the right phase of fermentation, and then also doing our own deliveries. So we completely,
Yeah.
I mean, I think that people just don't appreciate how hard small businesses are to run, the brutality of entrepreneurship, so why do you give a shit? Why sacrifice the so-called security of a job, etc., to do this? What is your why for why you're in this?
We love people.
Tanya, we really love people, and that's not an understatement. I mean, having to witness my identical twin go through the journey that she did, me to a lesser degree, but somehow it's always worse when you're looking at someone you love. And to see how, without being disrespectful, I really love and appreciate doctors, but see literally a mist go over their eyes trying to figure out what was wrong with Tanya and still not, being able to provide an answer. And so our journey started because we were trying to fix T. We were trying to fix her and get her right. And then we just began thinking, how come people don't know about kombucha? How come they don't know about these ancient foods, like fermented foods? We're putting everything in vinegar, different kinds of vinegar. We're pasteurizing the shit out of everything, instead of creating living, nutrient-dense foods. So that's why we started. It was real, genuine love
and compassion, because working in an office space with all my colleagues, having all kinds of issues. I mean, it's hard enough just working.
Yeah.
But maintaining that kind of momentum when you've got a life at home with kids and various stresses and stuff, and people looking at me and my recovery, and it wasn't actually our choice wasn't based off money at all. It was simply a strong desire to help people and make them. I wanted them to feel what I felt.
Yes.
And really, I was giving it away. We were giving it away for free.
And the thing is, Mark, we're not millionaires. Okay, so there's that money is not the reason we stay. It's we genuinely want people to be well, to start making healthier choices, start changing their paradigm, and start being well, returning to health. I think,
and it's not just a physiological health; it's also psychological health.
Yes. Yeah. Well, I mean, I guess without going into this too broadly, they talk about the gut-brain connection. And if you've ever been through this, you understand. And I really resonate with the mission that you ladies have, because, as I've gotten fitter, stronger, healthier, it is quite incredible. I'm not trying to preach to my friends. I just genuinely want them. It's I don't think people understand how good can feel until you have it, right? And so when you feel that good, I think especially if you have an abundance mindset, you don't want to just feel good without not wanting to bring other people along with you.
That's it.
Okay, so I think that we've pretty much got the most important bits. I can't believe I didn't. Do you want to bring this out?
Oh, yeah.
Bring it out. That's why I asked you. We can kind of
Okay,
show
well, we
the
got
camera
your-
quickly. I can't believe I didn't. There you go. So this is their branding. We keep this very on point. There you can go have a look. Well done.
Thank you.
Really, ladies, I think that you've done so well to start a brand like this. I don't think it's easy
Not at all.
in any way, shape, or form. Not only building a brand, but then you're basically running a production line. You are the marketing, you are the sales,
Everything.
you are the admin.
Distribution, logistics.
Yes,
Yeah.
and then this guy's like, hey, can you just stop all of that to please come here for an interview?
We're so grateful. Thank you.
But really, I think that the heart and soul of South Africa is built on businesses like yours.
Thank you.
And the more successful you guys are, the more you will employ more people.
Yeah.
The thing with small businesses is the turnaround time and the exchange of money and energy is immediate. You're not sitting with billions in your bank account.
No.
Right? And if money is energy, you guys have this ability to move money fast. And that's why small businesses matter so much to the economy.
Yeah.
So well done to
Thank
you
you.
guys, to you ladies, should I say. Really, I think you guys have done a sterling job. And I genuinely believe that the best is to come for you guys.
Yeah.
Yay.
And if this video can help in any way, shape, or form, that would be epic. I want to just talk to my close-up for a second. Guys, the way you can get involved, the way you can give me a hand with the Small Business Showcase is just by using your social media presence to share this along. The more people that listen to these ladies' stories and really get to see the behind the scenes view and then just share it along, because that's one way at a minimum that you can support small businesses like us. The alternative is really, instead of waiting for some kind of shock or horror to happen to your health, this might be a great step or a gentle reminder in going in that direction. And what I want to do is I want to shift you to this camera over here. This is your close-up. I want to leave you with the chance to leave the audience with a parting message. What do you want people to know about you? What is your call to action? And then also if you can kind of throw in how people get hold of you, where else besides Jackson's they can get your products.
Okay.
Well, just the call to action would really be, it's a journey. All health is a journey. All of us are at different stages. And it's really just to focus on yourself, not to be dependent on a medical system.
Yeah. Take charge.
Take charge. Take charge of your health. And it's returning back to health. And kombucha and fermented foods are a good way to return there, because most of your immune system sits inside your gut. Every disease, every issue starts there. So give that a chance.
Yeah, and you can get hold of us on www.twiinsferments.com. That's TWII for Michelle and I, nsferments.com. And we're on Instagram at Twiins Ferments SA, and we're on Facebook at Twiins Ferments SA. So,
And we're really available at Jackson's Bryanston and Jackson's Kailami, Farm Table in Linden, Wholesome Harvest,
Fussy Vegan, the Blairgowrie, the Greenside, and the City Rock stores. We're available at Gourmet Grocer in Birdhaven.
at the Refillery,
At
on
the
tap.
Refillery, on tap in Morningside and Cedar Square.
That's it, yes.
And then we
Berliner
also
Grill and Deli.
Berliner Grill and Deli, and at Urban Foods.
I just want to take this opportunity to give a big love to Sasfin for helping us put the Small Business Showcase together. Literally, without them, none of this would be possible. So here's what I'd like from you. Number one, please support these small businesses. A really easy way to do this is just to like and share this video so that more people can see this. And if you have a small business that you'd like to nominate because you've dealt with them and you love it, please let us know. Get in touch. Chat to you soon.